So, what can we expect from Mark Carney's upcoming meeting with Donald Trump? It's time to talk about the Prime Minister's goals for the meeting, how he may be preparing, and what we should expect to come out of it. I'm Steve Sandford. You're watching Dominion Report. Having just won the election, Mark Carney's first goal, the one he was pretty much primarily elected for, is to settle the stormy waters between Canada and the USA. Carney is scheduled to meet with Trump at the White House on Tuesday. While announcing the upcoming meeting, Carney downplayed expectations, saying he expects a difficult but constructive conversation and emphasized that this will just be an opening talk. The primary topics that I'm sure will be discussed are the tariffs that Trump has imposed during the first 100 days of his administration, and the repeated talk of annexation or suggestion that Canada become the 51st state. Now, if I was part of Carney's strategy team, I would suggest that although the 51st state references should be on the agenda, the primary to-do item should be short-term tariff relief. What Donald Trump has shown to the world is that for the near and intermediate future at least, the United States cannot be relied on as a stable partner for trade, finance, or security. Even if there is an election there in 2028, and this, of course, assumes that there will be free and fair elections going forward, even if there is an election there and the Democrats gain power, it will be just as easy for a new MAGA administration to regain power 4 years after that. What Carney is probably focusing on is to put a hold on the tariffs, as many of the tariffs as possible, and especially the ones that have the most impact on the Canadian economy. And to see if that Band-Aid can stop the bleeding long enough for trade partnerships and trade pipeline infrastructure to be better established with Europe, also with Asia, and also with South America and Africa. Carney will likely put on a good face in terms of negotiating in good faith. But if he's smart, he'll be thinking short and medium term only. Now, some analysts have suggested that Trump will attempt to Zelensky Mark Carney. I doubt this will happen, although I'm sure Carney will probably have a plan in place in terms of how to respond if it does. You'll recall that Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine, was bullied by Trump, by Vice President Vance, and others in a bizarre scene that was broadcast on live TV from the White House. Knowing what we do know about Trump, he is unlikely to treat Carney this way. Trump respects finance and business experts, and especially successful ones. Trump will also respect that Carney can literally summon a king. That's right, King Charles is scheduled to come to Canada to make the throne speech. I have a separate video discussing this. I'll put the link in the comments below. Trump is known to have a fascination with the royal family. It's well known that Trump did not like Justin Trudeau. Trudeau was much younger. He did not have much of a history before politics. It's certainly one that Trump would appreciate. He was probably further left on the political scale than it looks like Carney will be. But Trump, despite some of his rhetoric criticizing, elitism, he actually likes Ivy League educated, successful, wealthy men, mostly because he wishes he was one of those himself. Trump also respects strength, and so far, Carney has shown quiet and calculated resolve. And Carney's not coming cap in hand to beg for military support to fight against Russia like Zelensky was. Now, on the whole, I would expect to be underwhelmed by the outcomes of this particular meeting. It will probably end without much immediate change and probably only set the tone for the respective teams to meet regularly to resolve tariff issues in the coming weeks and months. You'll probably see a renegotiated USMCA agreement. That's the United States, Canada-Mexico trade agreement. Perhaps by midsummer, late summer, something like that. It'll probably have a new name, and despite what Donald Trump says about it at the time it is signed, probably look a lot like the current USMCA. We'll keep following this story as it progresses. If you don't want to miss out, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, stay calm, stay strong, and elbows up.